And I'm Chris Gamble of Chip Report TV and Chris Gamble's Analog Life. Yes. Yes. He's back. Oh, it's been too long. It's been months. It's that... yeah. Is it that like stressful? Like, is your life that in danger working that close to Jerry and Ben and Alan that you have just like cortisol coursing through your veins because you're so stressed? Is that why it's going so fast? Oh yeah. Yeah. Plus there's like the 60-degree difference that you had to experience going from Texas up to Washington, right? Yeah. Bring on the gloom. Yeah. You brought the sunshine, man. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's nothing. Jeff's gonna like become like the... Yeah. People like buying you desk lamps. If you start going into depression. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you really tricked her. Yeah. That's right. Oh, I'm sure we can find another guest on by then that you guys could pull in your stead, right? Someone who's used to the lack of sun, so. Yeah. Yuppies. Are you saying there's a beer tap somewhere in the building? Is that? Oh man, you're a software company. I thought software companies all had that. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's when a lot of stuff gets designed too, right? I mean, you figure how many things throughout history have been designed on bar napkins. It's probably a shocking amount. And you look at other cultures too. I mean, like I know that like in Japanese culture and like Korean culture that I experienced, a lot of the business, like the actual business, when the decisions get made, that's sort of over drinks too. You know, it's just like it's once you relax and you're chilling with people, and then you actually get stuff done. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, out the door. Yeah. Yeah, man. With your Google goggles controlling it or something. Well, it's good for burnout too. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's good for balance. And, you know, if you're there too much, you'll burn out. But you can, there's always times when you're ramping up. Like, I know my stuff's ramping up now, and it's timed out pretty well, actually, because well, the weather's going to crap around here too. So it might as well be at work, right? I mean, if it's going to be dark when I drive home, it's no different if I drive home at 4:30 rather than 8:30. So I don't care. Not outside walking or anything. So, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And if you just keep throttling it up too, your work quality is gonna plummet. So it's good to have that balance. Even them, I think, you know, like I think that those people just have average levels that are just, you know, high above everyone else. If they had the time to step back down, they could throttle up even better. You know, they could just do even better things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Never. We wouldn't. But not the whole time, right? We agreed not the whole time. There's some other stuff to talk about. Oh, I guarantee we could. Yeah. What do we start with then? Which one? I guess. I'm ambivalent towards it by now, you know? Like, I'm sure some of our listeners don't care, and some have already heard about it, and the rest are probably fuming about it still, but I don't know. It's just, I'm past it. I don't care. Right. 5 years is a long time these days. Yeah. It's... Well, we saw... So Dave had a video about it. We should mention that, too. I mean, you kind of ran through it. Mm-hmm. I was. Yeah, it ramped. It overshadowed it too, right? I mean, it was like it's a pretty cool new product, and it's like, well, it's right. Antsy and the Pantsy. Yeah. Hmm. Well, and everybody brings their own things to the table, though, too. I mean, you could have read it as, we're putting fairy dust on everything. Right. Mm. Right. Aside from the Kickstarter guy, right? Right. Oh yeah. Hmm. Well, it's like that quote about any piece of technology that's sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. Not that the users of this are, unable to figure it out, but it's just sourcing parts. Yeah, and it's sourcing parts really, in small volumes, right? Sourcing everything in small volumes is your cost would go through the roof. So, yeah. But on the right. I don't. I like I said, I'm kind of past it, but I don't know. I think the thought experiment I've been doing is, so this all started from a open source hardware perspective, right? And from that perspective, if it wasn't open source hardware to start with, it wouldn't have existed, right? I mean, that's kind of the main thing. So, well, yeah. Well, maybe here's a better question then. Yeah, I think, it's cool. $1 billion. Well, so here's a question though. What happens if someone started up tomorrow, right? And they came in and they took an Arduino, right? Open source hardware project, and they just took it and they used it in a new product. They didn't call it an Arduino or anything like that, but they just took it and they started a company based on that, and assuming it was, something people wanted to buy, and they said, "Nope, we're not open source. No, we're not." I mean, like, is that because so it's the attribution and the share alike. It's the share alike, right? Mm. Hmm. So then how is that not going to work now? That's the part I can't get around. I no, but that's not an answer. That's like, so if all this stuff is open to start with, and they say from now on, no, we're not open at all, and they've already used share alike, does that mean someone's going to come in and say, well, then prove it's different? Is it like a court case kind of thing? Ugh. We just got through this. This Apple Samsung taste in my mouth is still terrible. Ugh. And who even puts money behind the other side of it, right? Right. Well, yeah, who has money to argue it in court, right? If you don't have VC money behind it or something, who's on the other side then? Is it like we do a Kickstarter for, like to fight court costs? It's like I'm not throwing in for that. No effing way. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And that's kind of like how Android is as well, isn't it? Like certain components are open, but certain parts aren't. I thought that was part of how they got it, because I remember with the whole Oracle like yelling at Google about using Java in there somewhere, but it was all. Oh, was it? Ugh. Oh, and like how, yeah, that's like on Audacity too. You can't. There's no MP3 encoder included with the software we use. That's open. Yeah, that's the same kind of thing. Hmm. Yeah, Hmm. 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 Who invited this Kaiser guy, anyways? Hmm. Yeah. 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 No, I can't go this year. I scheduled something on top of it. Well, yeah, you're the other way. I'm a lot closer than you are now, but yeah, I scheduled something right on top of it. So yeah, and that's why yeah, they'll stream it probably. That's why I'm like, because this is gonna stop soon. So I think we should give it up now. We should give up the ghost and move on. Yeah, that was... Yes. Well, we do, but for a good reason, right? We talk about, and even talking to Scott Miller last week, it's for good reason, because that's where it all is right now for hardware. Right. And these changes have been specifically targeted towards people selling hardware or selling, well, even how I'm saying it is kind of interesting because it's not supposed to be selling hardware, and the title of their post was Kickstarter is not a store, which is, yeah, they're not. Yeah. 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 Yep. This is basically the question, like in the interview, like, what are your greatest weaknesses? I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. That is, we do talk about electronics once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. I know, right? Why can't we just do simulations all the time, right? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen any of this stuff. The Lifex bulb? The vaporware of the day. Wow. Yeah. Right. Right. Holy crap. $1.3 million already? Oh. 1.3 million, that could be my job if they want. On the back of questions we received, we have adjusted the video to more accurately reflect new information. We removed IPv6 from the made info page. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's tough for machine metal stuff, man. I mean, I guess you could do the same thing, right? You could put metallic paint on a 3D model of, this heat sink, and it could be total crap, right? I mean, there's ways around it, but something up front, right? Yeah. Well, production line could be your garage, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be China. See, but doesn't that mean that you are using it as a store? That's the part I don't get. Like, that means you're like, oh, well, I'm just using this for marketing and distribution, right? And that's what some of our listeners wrote in about. They wrote in about the Teensy 3. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, that might be a valid point, but I mean, some of our listeners, so Ad Shay and Uniclocker were talking about the Teensy 3 and how basically that was an Arduino clone, right? And basically he didn't have them, or he was already done, but he just wanted to use it as a distribution point. And, he said you could buy multiples, which we'll get to, I'm sure. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. It's tough. Let's just say this. Kickstarter was not meant for hardware. Yeah. Yeah, that alone, right. Right. Yeah, yep. Let's get some architects on there. Mm-hmm. Get the good press. Right. Oh, they're covering their own ass. Don't kid yourself in any way, shape, or form. This is for them. Because it's going to come back eventually, right? So there's going to be a class action suit, and they're going to be like, oh, well, we didn't get these things we were promised. Agree, yeah. Well, there goes that perpetual motion machine I was going to put up on there. I had it all worked out. I had a great rendering. It was pendulum-based. Yep. Oh, yeah. 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 Well, some of these I wonder about the multiple things though, because some of that has value. Like some of these, like especially for electronic stuff, people are trying to target the $100 range or so because it's still consumer friendly. Then a lot of people wanted, I think the thing is when it's like an iPhone iPhone accessory, if it's less than $100, you'll get a lot of people that are willing to buy that in such a huge market. So, but the thing is with this, multiples of it, right? How people are trying to ramp up how much money they're getting, and I don't I don't see it working the same way that like like music groups do it. You know, it's like, you know, music groups will say, well, you know, the album is $15. You get a copy of the album for $5,000. We'll fly out here and we'll fly out to you and sing a concert in your living room. And it's like, now is it like, well, for $5,000, I'll fly out to your house and do some CAD in your living room. You know, I'll assemble in your garage. I guess so. Yeah. Lifestyle, right? Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Stompy. Right. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It might be what you want, but you can't say that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is this is an interesting time we're living in, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a question about all this stuff because I asked this a while back on the subreddit that we have for links and stuff. Probably you. Yeah, you. So there we go, yeah. So I would be interested from the audience too, though, is like, so hardware is back in vogue, or maybe it's going to become more back in vogue or whatever, but are we seeing actually more demand for hardware engineers because of this, right? That's the question. Is, you know, like you said, you know someone. What's that? No, more so like it's startups, I guess, or startups or new companies or even just Kickstarter projects. Are people actually hearing, you know, like, oh, well, I need a electronics person to be able to work on this project? Or is it more like, well, we'll figure it out? Okay. I just think I would expect it, you know? Sure as hell feels like it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's not just the nerd in the lab. Yeah. It really is. Right, with all the fancy cuts and everything. Yep. Should I know what that means? I have a new camera. I don't know what that means. Blurry background, huh? Okay. Don't they need to actually, like, sometimes then change it too so that they focus on something else? Isn't that part of, like, making videos look cool? Or, like, yeah, okay. Right. Ooh, a teaser. Yeah, me too. Don't worry, Dave. You still have you have more. You know more than I do because I'm just totally lost right now. Yeah, he's throwing up in his mouth right now. Yep. So, the lesson being, don't have Dave make your Kickstarter video for you. might be better off having him work on electronics for you. Dave, you've stated before that you said you think that you would like to do a Kickstarter or something similar someday. Does this now change it? Yeah. Oh yeah. If I get the money, I'm gone, man. It'll be the AmpHour with Dave. Yeah. Yeah. So I had another question about Kickstarter, and you're not gonna like what's next. There's an article about the Internet of Things. Things. Do people give a crap about things that aren't connected anymore, though? That's my question. Right. Not trolling, like saying, "I'll take 20." Kidding. Okay. So money just burning a hole in their pocket, kind of thing. Just, yeah. Oh, Dave, you're so old. Right. Okay. Because I just can't put anything on the internet, basically. That's my concern. Is I'm pretty clueless. I'm a dinosaur already. Yeah, I don't know. We're dying breed, man. You know. Jeff's like, oh, I can put shit on the internet. Jeff's like, I'm doing this all the time at Valve. Jeff, I'm hungry. Give me more food. I am not at my peak capacity. Your light bulb. Yeah. Right. More likely you're about to say, I want on and off, like Dave did. Yeah. 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 You know, I try and balance that too from like marketers I've talked to about like that kind of same thing where it's like, oh, people love buttons. But then it's like, well, people love buttons now. I don't know if they'll love buttons in the future, but at the same time, it's like, well, buttons are a hell of a lot easier. So, so there's a reason for buttons. I don't know. Thingamabobs? Yeah. Oy. Yeah. A brick. Yeah. Internet connected brick. Yeah. I don't know. Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, I guess we're electronics people talking about electronics. You know, we think about buying gear or, you know, buying stuff that's useful for our hobby. But a lot of people are doing it for commercial success or for people that are trying to buy everyday stuff, right? And that's you know, we might be part of that subgroup as well, right? But we're not we're things that are targeted towards us specifically as electronics people would be different than for the general populace. So, like an oscilloscope or a soldering iron, right? So, speaking of things that electronics people would want to buy, Dave has what I'm going to call a rumor, because I don't believe this in the slightest. The Art of Electronics 3 will be out early next year. I want to believe, man. Yeah, I want to believe. The new I is someone who wrote on our subreddit, and he said, and Maxim parts will be easy to source. I'll believe it when I see it. So what's the deal here? You should, man. That'd be a good t-shirt. I like that. Do it. He's calling you? Yeah. Great timing, man. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Right. Well, he's got to start episode 4 as soon as he can, right? Or edition 4. Yeah. 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 Well, I was telling someone about it the other day, and I did the math. Wasn't it 89 was the last edition, or was it later than that? 89. Man, that's 23 years? Yeah, that's it has and it hasn't. It hasn't changed. It's just expanded, right? I mean, it's not like assembly language hasn't changed. It's just, it's just there's more of it now. Right, it's not as relevant, but it's still there. Maybe you should work with industrial stuff in the Midwest, Jeff, because I see 68,000 processors every damn day. Right. Well, and if it's just analog, it makes it timeless, right? Yeah. I agree, yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the last and the first and second edition. I've never actually seen a first edition. I don't know if you have a first edition leather bound and everything, but I think it was just trying to be all inclusive too, right? And that's another reason. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, even Jim Williams had on his thermocouple app note, there's I think it's C. It might be assembly, but he's got code about calibrating thermocouples. It's really weird. You look into this Linear Tech app note, and then you're like, code? What am I looking at? Yeah, no, it is. It totally is. Yeah, yeah, but for me too. But it's just like code. It's very confusing. Oh, ooh. How about whoever loses has to shave their head? Yeah. Hey, man. Start of electronics. This isn't some a little pamphlet we're talking about here. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. They still make books, huh? Now, here's a real question: is will they have a Kindle edition finally? Because they still don't have that for the second edition, right? So, yeah, I've never seen that. Well, okay. How about just EPUB? Yeah, just searchable, and like even if it's searchable from a PDF standpoint, that's better than what it is now. Yeah, right. And they're not going to just sell you a PDF these days. They'll sell you an EPUB or something else you can't easily, share. But whatever it is, it might be worth buying to have on a digital device like that. So even if it's an iPad or whatever else. Yeah, me too. It's got a thump on the desk, right? If that's how you. Mm-hmm. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be like the only. Yeah, yeah. They'll call DigiKey catalog makers, right? Well, we're not making DigiKey catalogs anymore, so. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. You guys both have it, right? I mean, you have the originals. Yeah. Yep. Ooh. Yeah. Which means like 35 minutes if we really want. I mean, right? AmpHour time, right? Yeah. 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 Well. How about some AmpHour trivia? Dave is 1.028 smoots and Chris is 1.075 smoots. I'd probably passed it. I had seen that wiki page before, so if people don't know, there's a Wikipedia page of odd measurements, and one of them is the smoot, and that's what Dave was referring to when he told me how tall he is, and so it's 5.58 feet or 170 centimeters. Jeff's pretty smootful. He's about as tall as me, right? Yeah. See. No, it's like 1.1. It'd be about 1.1. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taller than Dave though. That's the trivia. Nice. Jeff towers over both of us, Dave. Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be 1.048? Would it be what you want? 1048. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No more trivia. Well, we can't do Chip of the Week. I've been doing Chip of the Week on chipreport.tv. I took that away. Or at least I don't pay attention to putting stuff on the AmpHour anymore. Oh, yeah. It was a sensationalized title. Yeah, exactly. Right. Basically, the idea behind that article, it's like TechCrunch or any of those other, we follow startups kind of thing. Yeah. Right. Anyways, what the idea was is they found a $45 tablet, basically, that had Android 4.0, Wi-Fi, like a nice screen. It had full access to all the Google APIs and everything. Basically, I don't know. But that was basically the idea, though, is that at $45, no one is making any money anymore. And I agree, no one is making money on tablets, but I don't think, people haven't been making money on computers in general since, I don't know, 95? Like, there's no margin left in generalized computers anymore, so it's not, like, that surprising, this stuff, but, yeah, $45, that's nice. I don't know, like, I can't make a tablet for $45, but I expect that in China, if they're selling it at a 20% margin, it's conceivable with what Dave says is a crappy screen and, generalized third generation hardware, or 3 generations back or whatever, you probably could find a tablet for $45. I don't know. Right. Which means that So that means that they probably are about what, like 20, $25 BOM cost or whatever. And there's nothing saying that this there could be, some of it could have fallen off the back of a truck. There's no way to know if it's actually like legit. Yeah, you can buy 20,000, but can you buy 2 million of them? Right, exactly. Right. The only thing I was interested in this story about was, well, actually, it's two things. One is it gives credence to my idea of using a tablet as a generalized screen. Oh, there it is. Using it as a generalized screen, right? And I've talked about that before. Because of the cost, right? At $45, that could easily be part of your BOM if you're trying to have a 10-inch screen on your device. Nothing to say about, actually sourcing a decent screen or, a reliable tablet each time. But the other interesting thing is that this just totally ignores the idea of custom hardware or just specialized hardware, right? It's just like, yeah, hardware, like I said, computer hardware is dead. You're not going to make money on building tablets. But you are going to make money building, products for a specified market, just like you've always been able to. So, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you're always going to have customers asking you for lower prices, right? That's just a relentless drive because people expect it, right? It's baked into the marketplace. But, some things people don't expect to ask for lower prices on, like, I don't know what. Right. Right. Yeah, even if it's a software layer on top. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. We're losing $3 per unit, but we'll make it up in volume. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So there was an interesting article it was 2 weeks ago now. I'm not sure, her name is Amanda Payton, but she wrote about APIs for manufacturing. And yeah, so APIs are, I don't even know what API stands for. It's like you throw a standard. Thank you. Oh man, Dave's a software strength around here, which just goes to show how bad that is. Yep. But basically, she was asking about the fact that, maybe someday, like if China continues being the hardware powerhouse it is, if it ever would be possible for an industrial designer like we were talking about earlier to just throw an idea there, right? And then popping out the product, basically. Is that ever a possibility? And, oh, really? Oh, yeah. So like all the DFM work. Me give you money, you give me thing. Oh, really? Hmm. So maybe they'll become like the what is that called? What's that type of shark that kind of like feeds on the remains of the big shark, is whatever the big shark's eating. You know what I'm talking about? No, there's a certain type of fish that like kind of like it's like symbiosis or something. It's like a little tiny shark that swims along with the bigger shark. Right, exactly. So the idea there would be if you're a hardware person, like an individual looking to get some hardware work, maybe you kind of hover around the CM waiting for them to say, oh, well, we need someone to lay out a new board or work on firmware or whatever, and you go gobble that up and you and you say, thank you, Big Shark. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Right. They don't want to deal with the rest. Right. So, yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, yeah. Right. Well, and it's funny too. You think about that idea too, where it's like, well, you hand them a big bag of money with like a canvas sack with like a big money sign on the side, right? And you say, yeah, you got to do that, right? And then they hand you back this product in 3 months or whatever, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go sell this. And then, but what happens? Like, you're gonna be coming back with another bag of money in about 3 months when they can't source those parts anymore, and your firmware doesn't work because someone You haven't written the code or anything, right? I mean, so there is a significant value to having certain parts of the line in your own control, right? And that could even be the manufacturing, right? Yeah, even manufacturing, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, another VentureBeat article about that too is basically there was a bunch of Harvard folks basically saying that same thing of, hey, you might want that hardware stuff back here, the manufacturing stuff back in the U.S. or wherever you are too, because it kind of allows those little tiny feeder sharks around the big shark. Basically, just from a jobs perspective, you know. Oh, yeah, you do it yourself. Really? Can you imagine fixing the same firmware bugs twice because of that? You know, you fix it one time and then you redo everything. You have to fix it all over again. That would be really frustrating. Put them on the spot. How's your time looking in the future? You think you're going to get more busy or less busy? Oh yeah, you are very busy. What I'm asking is can we see you again, Jeff? Good stuff. Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Somebody to talk to at work over radio? Oh, yeah, before the darkness comes. Yeah. Right. And a little more depressed of, oh... You know what I said, though, about the Pacific Northwest is that's why the beer and the coffee is so good up there. You need the coffee in the morning. You need really good coffee to get yourself out of this seasonal affective disorder stuff. And then you need the beer at night to just drown the sorrows. Yep. Oh, sun, where are you? Yeah. Well, for next week, we will have Dr. Gregory Sharvat on our program. He makes radar out of coffee cans and lots of cool microwave stuff. There was an article a couple years ago about using microwaves to see through concrete walls. That was him. So, yeah. Yeah, man, we'll see you soon.